So we got a viral video here where, according to some, a young black 19-year-old man was tased for simply vaping while walking on the boardwalk in Ocean City, Maryland. And three other young black men were arrested as well once the incident, let's just say, got out of hand. Now, guys, if I learned anything over the years about public testimony, okay, wait for the whole story. And as you're going to see, these three videos that I'm going to show you, three short videos, they are simply little screenshots of the total incident. We don't really know, not screenshot, but you guys know they're snapshots of the totality of what happened. Therefore, I can't make, you can't make, we shouldn't make final conclusions based on pieces of information that are incomplete. All right. Remember Andrew Brown Jr. His family literally said he was killed. He was executed by the cops. And then the footage comes out and it turns out that Andrew Brown Jr. was fleeing the police and almost hit an officer with his car. Okay. They didn't add that into the story. So all that to say, guys, we should wait for the whole story. Now it's clear the officers used force, both a taser and kneeing one young man on the floor. Now, what you guys are going to hear in the video is the officer is telling the young man, stop resisting, give me your hands. And the young man saying, I'm not resisting. But what I saw, what we're going to see is that the officer is still unsuccessful in getting the young man's hands. And then at that point, he begins to knee him. Now, that is going to be one of the incidents of conflict, one of the incidents of we have to investigate this. Was this too much force? And that's going to be something that you're going to have to determine for yourself. And ultimately, the Ocean City Police Department is going to have to determine that for themselves as well. All right. So this is either a case of young men being rightfully, forcefully detained due to their decisions to smoke in a no smoke area. Then after being warned, they continued. And then after they were confronted about continuing to vape, they became hostile, which led to more police intervention. So it's either a rightful use of force through some people's viewpoints, or some people are going to look at this and say, you know what, the police officer used way too much force, which I think is a reasonable conclusion. Once you see the number of times the officer knees the young man, maybe you'll see both. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But before we jump into these videos, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you're notified anytime I make a video. And let's dive into this, guys. So 4 Harrisburg men are arrested after a viral video of confrontation between police in Ocean City. A video has gone viral of Ocean City police arresting a man. A video posted to the Lauderdale Instagram appears to show a confrontation between officers by officers and a group of young men. Police say that the confrontation began when officers tried to stop them from vaping outside of a designated area on the boardwalk. The video picks up by showing 3 officers trying to restrain one of the men. At one point, one of the officers knees the suspect in the side. So as you guys see, the story pops off like this. The officers try to intervene. They try to give them a warning, and then to no success, the kids continue to vape in an area where they shouldn't be vaping. Now, here is the video from the Instagram that was referred to. So Lotta Gray, let's go ahead and watch 2 of these videos right here.
I'm not resisting. I'm not resisting. You can tell me what you're arresting me for.
So as you guys see, he's saying stop resisting. The guy on the floor said, I'm not resisting. Tell me what you're arresting me for. And then you guys see, I think it was 5 knees at that point. All right, so that's going to be subject to further inquiry and investigation, of course. Ultimately, you have to determine, was that excessive amount of force. Now, this is where it gets worse. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3 young men, all right, squaring off with the police. Here's the guy that just gave the knees, and he is, he is in his mode right now, so he's ready to confront people who are being disorderly. So he takes front and center. So now we got 1, 2, the big guy, the big police officer is blocking 1, 3, 4, and the officer just pushed a guy. This guy is over here in this guy's face. All right. So this is what you would call disorderly conduct by civilians. You see some pushing. All right, some pushing. So they're putting their hands on this police officer. Now, I want you guys to look at this, because here is a firsthand account of the person that posted this video. My trip to Ocean City ended in 4 black boys being abused and arrested over a vape and for standing up against the foolishness of the police. All right, these are not boys, these are men. Okay, once you're 18 and older, you're a man. Please share these videos so this altercation can go viral. They were kneeing the young man in his ribs after he had already been held down and detained by 2 people. For those who think police brutality and the war on black people is not real, watch these videos and tell me if you still feel the same. So I still feel the same, and I completely disagree. There is no war on black people. Now, I want you guys to watch this video with this in mind. Notice the white people who jumped in and were more involved than some of these boys remain untouched. Who? Which one of these white people on the side is in the face of the officers, putting their hands on the officers, yelling at the officer, resisting the officer? I haven't seen any yet. Maybe that will change. So we still see the group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 people. One guy's already getting taken away. All right, so that's the end of one video. And then here's the second video. All right, maybe this is who she's talking about. Notice the white people who jumped in and were more involved. Okay, it doesn't seem like they're more involved. They're not putting their hands on this officer. Yes, they're stepping forward. Yes, they're recording. But are they pushing the officer? Are they yelling crazy things in their face? Maybe they are yelling obscenities in their face. I don't know. But is there any contact between the two? I haven't seen it. So here we go. We got a young man fighting with the police officer. All right, he goes down. Quick tase. They put him down. There's another guy over here. So that's 1, 2, and then the third guy got dragged off. And I have yet to see the white people who jumped in and were more involved than some of these boys. I don't see any white people jumping in being more involved. Yeah, I think at that point, no matter what your skin color is, if you jump in at that point, you're going to be met with some serious resistance. I just simply didn't see it, guys. But continuing with the story, because of course there is a whole story to this, but part of it is not going to be, it's not going to be shared with us because it's still at this point, key thing, being investigated. All right, so a second video on the same post shows a fight between the officers and one of the men. During that fight, one of the officers shocks the suspect. So here's a statement by Ocean City PD. OCPD was on foot patrol in the area on the 12th Street and the boardwalk when they observed a large group vaping on the boardwalk. 4 individuals were placed under arrest during this incident. We are aware of the social media video circulating this incident. According to police, officers initially approached a group of men in the area of the 12th Street and and the boardwalk for vaping outside of designated areas. So here's the offense. Hey guys, you're vaping outside of designated areas. As the group walked away, one of the men started vaping again, according to police. During that encounter, the man refused to provide identification and became disorderly, according to police. A crowd began to form when officers attempted to arrest the man. Police say he resisted arrest. The man was later identified as 19-year-old Brian Anderson of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. During the interaction with Anderson, Kamir Anthony Day, 19, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. If I said Virginia, please forgive me. Pennsylvania, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, was yelling profanities and approaching officers during the lawful arrest. According to police, officers placed a marked police bike in front of Day and advised him to back up. Police say Day refused to comply with the officer's orders, continued yelling profanities while attempting to approach the officers, placing Anderson under arrest. Officers approached Day to place him under arrest for disorderly conduct. Day resisted arrest, according to the police. Officers and public safety aides attempted to provide a perimeter to separate the aggressive and hostile crowd and the officers making an arrest. Officers observed Jatik, let's say Jatik Joseph John Lewis, 18, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, push a police safety aide in the chest while yelling profanities. Police say John Lewis then picked up a police bicycle and attempted to strike the public safety aide with it. Officers were able to remove the bicycle from John Lewis. John Lewis assaulted the public safety aide again. Officers attempted to place John Lewis under arrest. Police say John Lewis resisted arrest. So here we go. There's a common theme. This person resisted arrest. That person resisted arrest. Another person resisted arrest. The fourth person resisted arrest. I mean, you know, it's kind of like at this point, maybe we, no matter how we feel about a certain situation, we should not resist and come against the cops. It's a losing battle in the moment. Take your battle to the courtroom. Don't try to solve it in the streets. These four boys were, in their minds, justified by their anger. But as you guys see, okay, when you act in anger, you are going to make error after error. And these boys have now been charged with these crimes due to their error. As officers and public safety aides maintain the perimeter, officers observed Khalil Dwayne Warren, 19, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, standing on private property next to two no trespassing signs. Officers gave Warren a lawful order to leave the private property if he was not staying at the property. Police say Warren became disorderly. Officers attempted to place Warren under arrest. Police say Warren resisted arrest. So as you guys could see, this is just a summary of everything that I meant. 4 people charged. What was the main theme throughout all of it? Disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. So Ocean City Police says the use of force incidents go through a detailed review process. We are aware of the social media video circulating regarding this content. Regarding this incident, our officers are permitted to use force per their training to overcome exhibited resistance. All uses of force go through a detailed review process. The uses of force from these arrests will go through a multi-level examination by the assistant patrol commander, the division commander, and then by the Office of Professional Standards. So as you guys see, more investigations to come. But those are the 2 videos. I want to show you one other video courtesy of the New York Post. And all of this is going to be in the description below. And I believe that at the end of the day, what we have here is just kids, not kids, they're young men. They're 18, 19 years old, trying to take matters into their own hands, and it go drastically south. All right, so here's the last video of the person who they say was simply vaping. Well, not simply vaping. You're vaping in a non-vape zone, and then you get warned to stop vaping, but then you continue to vape, and then according to police, you become disorderly. All right, here's that video.
Stop. Get out. Get out. What's wrong with you? Back up.
It happened last year too. So one more time, just so you guys can see.
Stop. Get out. What's wrong with you? Back up.
Yeah. So, that's just a continuation of the other story. So, shocking video shows the moment Maryland cops tase a teenager with his hands up and repeatedly knee another, which we already seen, while he is pinned to the ground because they were vaping on the boardwalk. All right. A now viral clip, which has more than 2.3 million views, shows one teen with his hands up as he's surrounded by at least 5 cops. All right. And then he goes on to get tased. But guys, that's all of the details that we know at this point. So take what you will from it and conclude what you will from it. From my perspective, in my opinion, what I just see, like I said, is I see a group of young men committing, I guess we could call it a petty crime, a petty violation. I mean, it's petty to vape in a non-smoking zone. But then what I realize is you can do something petty and then you can compound the problem by not just listening to police officers, not listening to the authorities that are over you, and continue to try to handle things your own way. I think that's really what happened here, is that these young men tried to take matters into their own hands, and they learned a very harsh lesson that you do not try to take the fight to police officers during an incident where they're trying to detain one of your buddies for committing a violation of a city ordinance. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you're notified anytime I make a video. If you guys want to support the channel, you could find me on PayPal, Conservative Republic, Cash App, Conservative Republic. You could also hit that like button one last time. As always, guys, I will see you good people on the next one. God bless. Peace.